When it comes to being the best athlete, we all know that skills pay the bills. But if you're not weightlifting, you won't be able to perform these skills as fast and as long as you could be. Because I know how important it is for athletes to weight train, I'll be giving you the top 10 exercises that athletes should be doing to maximize performance. Before I get into these exercises, because I know how hard it is for athletes to train correctly, I'm offering you the most incredible free gift ever. If you sign up for a free trial of my Aesthetic Athlete Academy community, which is the best community in the world, not only do you get to try out this community, but you get a free workout plan and a free consultation call with me. Be sure to click the link in the description to claim your free gifts. Before I get into the exercises, it's important for me to go over what the role of strength training is for athletes because, believe it or not, this is actually kind of controversial. We got some trainers who say it doesn't matter what you do in the gym, it'll transfer over to your sport. And then we got other people who say that exercises won't transfer over if it doesn't look exactly like the sport that you do. In my personal opinion, both of these groups are wrong. The true role of strength and conditioning is to develop the physical preparation necessary for an athlete to effectively use their skills as fast and as long as possible. So if you're a soccer player, my goal is to help you perform skills as fast as possible while also ensuring that you can do this for 90 minutes. If you're an MMA fighter, I want to make sure that you can throw strikes as fast as possible for the entire duration of the fight. Also, I do want to address that the exercises I'm going to be giving you are my personal favorite exercises, but even though they're my favorites, you shouldn't just do them exclusively. As an athlete, you want to be a master of movement. But if you only do one exercise variation, you don't become a master of the movement, you become a master of the exercise. For example, if you only barbell bench press, you won't be a horizontal pushing master, you'll just be a master of the bench press. So I can't stress this out enough, even though I'm giving you my top 10 favorite exercises, make sure that you're doing these, but also doing other variations as well. Now onto the top 10 strength training exercises for athletes, and these are in no particular order, and I'm starting off with the barbell squat. The reason why I picked a free weight squat over a machine squat is because the level of instability is more sport specific. I mean, think about it. When in sports is your range of motion going to be fixed like it is in a machine? I selected the barbell squat over other squat variations because the barbell squat is very loadable. Don't get me wrong, exercises like the front squat and zercher squat have their place, but the barbell squat allows you to use so much weight and get those strong legs that you need for your sport. The second best strength training exercise for athletes is a Bulgarian split squat or a rear foot elevated split squat. If I had to choose between bilateral or unilateral leg exercises for athletes, I would obviously choose unilateral leg exercises because the majority of sport movements are done on one leg. So of course, unilateral leg exercises are a little bit more sport specific. And my favorite lunge variation for athletes has to be the Bulgarian split squat. The reason why I really love this exercise is because it's very loadable, and I like the range of motion that you're able to get because the rear foot is elevated so it doesn't hit the ground too early. For the third best strength training exercise for athletes, I'll actually give you two of them. They're both going to be hinge exercises, and the first one is a single leg RDL and the second one is a trap bar deadlift. The reason why I'm giving you two exercises here is first because I'm the best fitness influencer in the world, and second is because both of these exercises have their distinct advantages. First, I'll be starting off with the single leg RDL. I've been spamming this exercise recently, and the reason why is because it's done on one leg and it's really sport specific. In particular, it replicates the horizontal component of running. And again, when you're running, you're gonna be on one leg. I recommend this exercise more for athletes that run a lot and don't participate in a sport that's super physical. And the other hinge variation I really like is the trap bar deadlift. This one's gonna be far better for developing strength and power. And of course, I recommend this more for athletes that rely a little bit more on strength and power, so maybe like a wrestler or a football player. But regardless of what sport you do, I would do both of these variations to get the best of both worlds. Now to the fourth best strength training exercise for athletes, and now we're on to the upper body, and we'll be starting off with a split stance overhead press. For the vertical push, I was in between a barbell overhead press and a split stance overhead press, but I decided to go with the split stance overhead press for a couple of key reasons. First, the overhead press in particular promotes a lot of extension of the spine. And when our rib cage and pelvis aren't stacked, we kind of lose a little bit of our athleticism. And the other reason why I went with the split stance overhead press is because it more closely replicates normal human movement. Doing this exercise with a split stance and unilaterally will allow you to get natural rotation of the torso, which I really like, and I believe will transfer over to your sport very well. Now to the fifth best strength training exercise for athletes, and this will be a horizontal push, and it's a standard barbell bench press. Although I really like unilateral exercises, bilateral exercises have their place, and I think the barbell bench press is a great exercise. Again, this exercise is very loadable and will help maximize pushing strength, which is so important for a lot of sports. Getting a good base of strength for this exercise is key for maximizing performance in your sport. Now to the sixth best strength training exercise for athletes, and we're getting into our pulls, and for the horizontal pull, I'll go with the tripod row. The reason why why I like the tripod rows, because you're able to load up this exercise really well. And just like these split stance overhead press, you're able to get natural rotation of the torso. I've been spamming this exercise recently because it's such a great way to improve movement and improve your pulling strength. The 7th best strength training exercise is just a standard pull-up. When you think of vertical pulls, think of lat pull downs or pull-up variations. And when it comes to picking between the two, I'll pick the pull-up every day of the week. Because your legs aren't supported in a pull-up unlike a lat pull down, it will likely transfer over to your sport much more effectively. And when it comes between choosing between the grips, again, you want to do a variety, but when it comes to pure back strength, the pronated grip pull-up will always be the best option. The 8th best strength training exercise for athletes is cable rotations. Rotation is probably the most effective way to generate power. And the best way to get better at rotation is to train rotation. And my favorite way to improve rotational strength is to do cable rotation. The reason why I really like it is because it's super simple, and like other variations, you're able to train rotations in a variety of different angles, which is super important. So make sure you're incorporating high to low rotations, side to side, and low to high. The 9th best strength training exercise for athletes is the pal-off hold. The cable rotations took care of training rotation, but we also want to make sure we're strong at resisting rotation in particular. The reason why is because strength training exercises don't work the transverse plane very well, so we want to make sure we're incorporating exercises that work on this. My favorite exercise to do this is a pal-off hold with a resistance band. The pal-off hold is my favorite anti-rotation exercise. I personally will do pal-off holds for 20 seconds on each side. And the 10th best strength training exercise for athletes is locomotion. I honestly don't really even have to explain this, but locomotion is obviously super important for athletes. And when it comes to locomotion, my favorite ways to work on this is walking, doing a light jog, or sprinting. The reason why I don't say mid-intensity jogging is because it's kind of in between aerobic and anaerobic conditioning, and you get half-assed benefits in both. So I'd rather do walking or light jogging for the aerobic benefits and then sprinting for the anaerobic benefit. One bonus group of exercises I will mention are carries, because technically carries are just weighted walking. And those are the 10 best strength training exercises for athletes. Let me know in the comments what you think and if you agree with me, and be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed.